What's up, YouTubers? How are we today? Matt here. Thank you for dropping by. This is going to be a little bit of a different kind of video. It's more focused on the technical side of the Olympus LS-P4. If you want to see any of my other work, I'm a photographer, aspiring filmmaker, all of that kind of jazz. And I am going to be showing you some tips and tricks on how to use this little bad boy on your camera, because this is really powerful, and I've seen a fair few people beginning to use this as a microphone, not only as a shotgun microphone, but on as a high-res audio recorder in their kit. So if you'd like to see some more kind of things with Olympus, don't forget to hit that subscribe button or maybe the notification bell, because you'll get to see the things as I put them up first. I am an Olympus ambassador, and I've been very, very lucky to be able to use all of the Olympus gear, like the EM1 Mark II here. I'm filming with the EM1X, and I've been given this LS-P4, which has been in my kit now for maybe, I don't know, 3 months. Just letting you know as well that I am actually recording on the Rode Video Mic Pro, which is attached to my EM1X. I normally record with this with a little Lav Mic, so my apologies if the sound is not as good as normal, because I am in an apartment, there's humming going on everywhere and cars and trucks and whatnot. So yes, this is an audio YouTube video, but the sound may not be the best because I normally use this, but I want to talk about it with in my hand. So let's get going. So this little thing is called the LS-P4. It has one AAA battery. It is a high-res audio recorder that can record in well, high-res. So basically that's better than CD quality, because MP3 compresses the files and really destroys the audio quality. But with this little thing, which you can see here, I've got the hot shoe mount, it's tiny. Look at this. It actually just fits in your pocket. It's got 3 microphones, and the beauty of it, as I was talking about before, is it can be mounted on top of, oh, it's on wrong, but it can be mounted on top of your camera and used as a shotgun microphone. Now, I have seen a fair few YouTube videos and tutorials on how to use this, but people in the comments were asking, well, actually, how do you use it as the shotgun microphone? And it can be a little bit confusing at the start, but once you realize when you set it up, it's actually not that confusing. So basically, before we get into that, I want to show you, you turn the thing on by holding it down, like so. And to make this into a zoom mic, okay, because if you're going to use it as a shotgun microphone, you're going to be mounting it on top of the camera, maybe, or on a pole. So you want the field of the microphones to be a lot narrower, so it's aiming right at the person talking. So we're going to go to menu, and we're going to go down 1 to record menu. We're going to press across, and then we're going to do record mode. We make sure we're on Pcm, and I'm shooting at 96 kilohertz 24 bits, so that is high-res audio. The file sizes aren't that big, and people who whinge about that, well, I'm shooting 4K anyway, so big file sizes. So press back, we make sure we're in that. So this is the important part, the zoom mic. So we go across to the right. You can see here I've got it on +6 as the zoom. Now, if I go down, you can see, let's make sure it's working, that the field is getting wider. So now it's going to be taking in all of the ambient noise. Okay, this is really great if you're, well, I use this when I go traveling. I'll set it to wide, I'll sit it down on a little tripod or on the ground, and I'll capture some of the ambient noise of maybe a city or a waterfall or something like that. But for the purposes of a shotgun zoom mic, I pretty much always just have it at +6. Okay, so we can go back, low cut filter, mic select, don't worry about any of that. And basically that is it. It just records straight to your internal memory, or you can put an SSD card, micro SSD, and this actually just folds away, and that's how you attach it to the computer. Now, there is new firmware for this little recorder. It's 1.1. Now, the new firmware gives you Bluetooth headphone operation so you can change the volume, but it also gives you a slate tone, which is like the little clapper, which is fantastic for syncing up audio in post-production. And it also gives you an audio level tone as well, so you can adjust the levels so it's not clipping. Now, I actually went to install the firmware on my MacBook just before and it didn't work, and then I realized my security settings were stopping it. I changed that and my computer just wouldn't turn back on. So it's currently now backing up. I did manage to recover it. So this is not going to be using the slate tone on this, I am sorry, but basically all you have to do when you do, and if you can get the firmware to work, when you are recording, go back here, press record, you're going to see a little button here and it'll say slate. So all you have to do is hold it in and it's going to record a slate tone, and you'll see on the waveform it's like a solid beep, and you'll be able to sync that up in post-production much easier. Now, you will not hear the slate tone through the sound here, or if you've got headphones on, it's like a silent one. So that is a bit tricky. If you are worried about it, press it again and hold it. Okay, so that is a really cool feature that I actually can't try out right now, but I know that it works because I have seen other people using it. So basically, if you are going to use this as a shotgun mic, we've set it up already, you're going to need a hot shoe mount. Now, you can get like the, what's it called? The Rycote, or I don't even know what it's called. The shock mount for the microphone, so when you are moving that it actually dampens that and you don't get any noise. I don't have one. I've got one on the Rode mic, but I've just been attaching it to the top of my camera like so, and it's been pretty good. You'll also need a 3.5mm male to 3.5mm male. I just got a little coil one here. I'll leave a link in the description below, and that's going to attach to the microphone setting here. Microphone setting, microphone port. Now, you need to make sure that this one goes into the headphones, like so. Now, this is where some of the other YouTube videos have kind of stopped and people are getting a little bit confused. There are two things that you can do with this, and that is, you can use it purely to record audio onto itself. Actually, there's three. Record audio onto itself. You can use it to record audio onto itself and into the camera, or you can just use it as like a regular shotgun microphone and it's just recording into the camera. Now, the recording into the camera part was the confusing thing for some people, but it is actually quite easy. However, in my testing, I have found that there are some settings in the Olympus cameras that you must change, or you don't have to change, but I think the sound is much better because you are not using the camera's preamps. These cameras have microphones, stereo microphones, but the preamps in them are not that good. That is why we're using an audio recorder that has great preamps. So why would we use shitty ones when we can use good ones? And let's go in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to press into menu. We're going to go to our video settings. Now, in our video settings, as you can see just here, we're going to go across and we're going to go down to movie. In movie, we're going to make sure it's on and we're going to go across again. Now, here's where it gets, this little setting in here makes a huge difference. What we're going to do is we're going to go down to Pcm Recorder Link. Now, this Pcm Recorder Link, we need to set this to inoperative. If you set it to operative, it's going to use the preamps in here and the preamps in the camera, so you can adjust the volume of your recording using the camera. However, that introduces noise because these preamps aren't that good. So I turn it off to inoperative and just adjust all of the volume in the audio recorder. So we've got it inoperative, press OK. Now, we're not going to be able to adjust any volume of our recording via the camera, but that's okay because the recorder can do it all for us. So all we have to do is set our camera. Okay, here's our new scene. We are going to turn this on. Now all you have to do is press record once. Now you can see here the time code is actually not moving at all, because what it is when you press record once, it's actually getting it ready to for us to monitor our levels. Use our headphones, make sure everything's not clipping or things aren't too quiet, or maybe there's a noise in the background. But this by itself here is not actually recording anything. However, it is picking up audio. So this is what we're going to use as just the shotgun microphones, like we're having a Rode attached to it or a Sennheiser or something. It's just taking in my voice, going into the recorder, picking it up, and then sending it straight to the camera. Okay, so nothing's recording yet because we haven't pressed record on the camera. Press record on the camera after we've set our levels correctly, and then we will start recording. And we can still monitor on here, we've got our levels, and make sure that nothing's clipping. And it's also coming up on the camera because it's feeding into the signal. Now, remember, you cannot change the volume on the camera. It only can be changed up here. How do we do that? So when we are setting things up, there's two things that I found help. Now you need, because this is coming out of the headphone jack, when you're adjusting the volume output of the recorder going into the camera, two things can make a difference here. Okay, so your audio recording level will make a difference, and also your headphone output level will make a difference because this is in the headphone jack. So what I've found is by pressing up, we're going to put our headphone volume all the way up to 30. This is just in my situation right here. And then if we press right or left, we can see the recording volume changes. So now I'm going to put my recording value for here sitting at record level 18, and that's great for here. Okay, so the recorder's picking up our recording level at 18. I'm also outputting the headphones at 30, which is fine, okay, because the preamps in this are really good. And then it's feeding straight into the camera, and then I can press record. Now, if I want to record both things at once and have a backup, which a lot of people do, this is where this little baby shines, because a regular shotgun mic cannot do that. All I have to do is now press record again, and you can see here that it's starting to record. I press record on my camera, and then I'll give my claps so we can sync it in post, or press the slate tone, which will be here in the new firmware. And when you press that, it's going to record sound into here and into here, sync them up in post-production. And now I've got a dual recording, which is pretty cool. So if something fails in here or you lose something in here, it's actually baked into the footage as well. Another really cool feature of having an audio recorder like this in your kit is that you can use it for interviews, documentaries, because it is an audio recorder. So we can take it off if I can get it off, I'll unscrew this. So another really cool feature of this little LS-P4 is not only can it be used as a shotgun, but it can be used what it's meant to be used for, and that is as an audio recorder. So that, whether that be music, you might be filming a music video, or might be getting an interview or anything like that, or perhaps in the studio like I use it as well. So you could either use the 3 microphones on here and set it up above or side or below, or you can use a Lav Mic. So this little one here is the Olympus one. So you can plug it into the microphone which is cool. So you can actually attach a shotgun microphone like the Rode or something else into this and record as well, which we'll show you in a minute. So I could set my lav up, attach it to myself like so. I know this is a bit dodgy, and we can start to record. Get our levels, obviously this is mono, get our levels, adjust things, and press record and start recording. And then we can sync that up in post using our scratch audio from our camera. Or you can do it this way. And this is how I do it in the studio when I'm recording these YouTube videos or things like that. I set my Lav Mic into the microphone of the recorder. Then I've got this, I don't know, maybe 1.5 meters long, 3.5mm high quality audio cable. And what I'm going to do now is attach that to the headphones in here. So now audio's coming through my lav, which can be fed underneath my shirt. This is out of the way. I'm feeding this straight into my camera, which in this case can be here. And now I've got a lav recording dual onto my recorder and baked into the footage onto my camera, so I can choose if I want to use either one of those. Okay, but the audio should be pretty good going into my camera because we've set it up just like we did before. And now I'm not limited by where I'm sitting in the room because I have a cable. Now I know that these 3.5mm cables are not as good as XLR. They can pick up Wi-Fi interference or mobile interference, so it's a really good idea to turn all of that off if possible. But I'm not sitting too far away and the cable's not that long, okay? I'm not using a person on a big boom, but if you're going to do that, you'll need to look into some XLR adapters and things. It's a really good way to self-film. It's a really versatile little thing, and being high res, like I go out and if I can't get any audio of find it online, I don't have to buy it. I can just go, this was in my pocket a lot of the time walking around the city or going for a hike. I hear something cool or an ambient sound, I'll sit that here, record it for 30 seconds. There you go, I can use it for another video later on. So on the EM1X, you can actually record high-res audio internally, but again, the noise in the preamps, I don't think are that good. Attached with this, it makes it really cool. Now, I know that there are better audio recorders out there, but this thing doesn't cost much. It's high-res, it's tiny. For the workflow wise, being able to plug this into the computer straight away, get the files off it, sync them up in post, and be on our way. It's a no-brainer for me. And yeah, I don't think there's much more to talk about than this. The shotgun mic thing was the confusing thing for when I was looking at it. People were like, how does it actually record into the camera? Well, you just need to make sure that you've pressed record at least once and that audio is coming into the audio recorder, and then that gets fed straight into your camera. So just make sure that you've got that camera operation with inoperative, so it's just using the preamps from here. Please drop a comment in the description below if you have any more questions about it. I'm more than happy to answer it. Don't forget again to hit that subscribe button, and hopefully I'll have some more Olympus tutorials and reviews and things like that coming up for you soon. So in the meantime, peace out.